us dream of being singing superstars. But listen to this.
You really get me going, I just can't get enough. The way you move and groove, I want
That's our producer, Stacy Siegel. And even Stacy would agree that a career as a vocalist is highly unlikely. Still, we found a promoter who told Stacy that she could make it as a singer. Hard to believe? Matt Mahar investigated.
A lifetime of love. 34-year-old New Jersey native Billy T. Midnight has a passion for country music. For the past 20 years, he's been kicking around honky-tonk bars and small clubs, belting out his country tunes. But after all those years, Billy was far from the superstar he thought he could be.
I needed somebody to take me to the next level.
He thought that person would be this woman, Re Dorkin, who bills herself as a music industry consultant.
She told me that she could make me a star.
But stardom for Billy was going to come with a price tag, a huge price tag.
How much money did you and your investors give her?
I know I probably gave her close to 30 grand. I know my investors probably did close to $500,000.
Billy says he and his investors gave Dorkin $10,000 a month for 3 years and tens of thousands more for expenses, much of which was spent on things like fancy hotels, schmoozing, and promotional campaigns that Billy said went nowhere.
My career is no more further now than I was 5 years ago.
Did she rip you off?
Yes, I think she totally ripped me off.
Dorkin advertises in a New York City newspaper. After we received a complaint about her business practices, we started investigating, and that's when we found Billy T. Midnight. We wanted to see what Re Dorkin could do for this woman.
I want you in my life.
She's our associate producer, Stacy Siegel.
I want you in my life. You're the only one for me.
Unlike Billy, Stacy doesn't have much natural singing talent. And we're pretty sure she shouldn't give up her day job.
I want you in my life forever.
We sent her a tape of Stacy singing. And believe it or not, Dorkin wanted to meet her. We brought along our hidden cameras. So what did she think of Stacy singing?
You have a really pretty voice. You have nice tonal quality to the voice.
She said Stacy only needed a few months of voice lessons.
I need you near me.
What I like about it is you're not trying to sound like Celine, and you're not trying to sound like Mariah Carey, who I can't, literally can't stand, because her voice is cerebral, it's not from here.
She was ready to sign Stacy up, but of course, there would be some serious upfront costs.
You're talking in the neighborhood of $5,000.
What would a music industry executive say about Stacy's singing? Drew Dixon is vice president for Arista Records and has worked with music superstars like Whitney Houston and Santana. She also evaluates up-and-coming talent, so we asked her to listen to Stacy's song.
We've got to get it together.
Would you say that that person has a pretty voice?
No, I would not.
Would you say they have good tonal quality?
No. I mean, I usually listen to the entire song. In that particular case, I'm not sure that I can make it all the way through.
Pretty bad.
Well, yeah.
Re Dorkin didn't think so.
You have beautiful tonal quality.
But Re Dorkin didn't stop there. She told us one story after another, dropping some very impressive names in the entertainment industry.
I know Shania well, but that's another story. But at any rate, and I'm involved with him and Martin Scorsese in a major project, but that's another story. We're shooting Sopranos, that's another story.
But when we called representatives of Shania, Scorsese, and the producers of The Sopranos, none of them had ever heard of Re Dorkin. For a second meeting, our associate producer was told by Dorkin to bring a $5,000 cashier's check. But first we wanted to ask again, did Stacy really have potential?
Do you really think I have a good voice?
Stacey, I'm getting really confused about that. If I feel you were horrible, I don't need you fake. If you had a horrible voice and no chance, I wouldn't be doing this. Okay? I think you have a really good voice. I think you have potential.
We never gave Dorkin the check, but I was waiting outside to ask her a few questions.
Can I ask you a few questions? The young lady you were just sitting with, Stacy, do you really believe she has a pretty voice with nice tonal quality?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The lady that you've met
I know
with,
what you're
Stacy.
talking about.
Were you going to take $5,000 from her? How about,
Get out of my face.
could you tell me about Billy Midnight? How much money did you take from Billy? Ma'am?
Dorkin refused to answer any of our questions.
There's absolutely no reason to spend tens of thousands of dollars, and certainly not hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, for what? I can't even imagine what that would be for.
So yeah, she ripped me off. And I pray that enough people see this, that they don't let her continue.
Entertainment industry executives say you should be concerned if a promoter wants you to invest upfront money on things like photographs and publicity. If you're good enough, they'll invest the money in your career.